Hello everybody, my name is Craig Bennett, and today I am going to get into a review video, and this is an update video for YouTube TV. Now, real quick, I did a in-depth review video on YouTube TV back in December of 2017. March of 2018, they added a whole slew of channels and quite a few other features, but is this worthwhile for you to just take another look into it and maybe just jump on board with YouTube TV, or is it something that you might want to stay away from? That's what I'm going to cover in this video. So it's very, very important if you want to know the ins and outs on YouTube TV, how recording works, how this works, how sharing works, and all the other stuff, then please check out my review video that I made in December. It got very, very in-depth into that. I'll leave a link down below to that. Now, one big thing I want to mention is I think I did mess up on one part of that review. In the recordings, they only stay around for, I think, about 9 months. But with that one in mind, if, like say, for example, if you watch show ABC XYZ in season 1, episode 3, you watched it and even labels it as you watched it. The next time it comes on, it re-records it, and from 9 months from there, then it will delete it. However, each time that it comes on, it will re-record it. However, it will keep the watched label on it, so you know what you watched and didn't watch, and that way things stay in your stuff. So that's a big thing to note into stuff. If something isn't shown after 9 months, then you know it's gone. So with that one in mind, let's jump on in. Now, YouTube TV, they added a whole slew of channels. They added Cartoon Network. I think they had TBS, Sci-Fi, and True TV, and quite a few others on here. Before, in the previous video, I got heavily into about half or over half of the channels. It was sports, and still sports does dominate to some degree, but not as horribly as it was before. Because honestly, before, if the basic channels, which you can get over the air anyways, other than that, there really wasn't honestly that much before, and it was basically a hog heaven for anyone who likes sports. Anyone like me who doesn't like sports really at all, it was kind of pointless paying $35 a month at the time. Now, with that, with the added channels, they increased the price to $40 a month, so $5 extra, so $60 a year extra on the bill. Now, anyone who was in YouTube TV before the price increase, they were grandfathered in, and they even Google announced saying, "Hey, we're going to do a price increase, and if you get an account before that, then you will be grandfathered in." So they were even very open about that. It wasn't just some hidden out of the blue type of thing. So that's a big thing to note. Is maybe if they do a price increase in the future, this will happen again, where you'll be grandfathered in again. Now, with that in mind, I want to mention that YouTube TV only has like 300,000 subscribers, give or take, so there's not really much of a loss one way or another on that. But and that number might seem low, but keep in mind Hulu TV only has like 450,000 subscribers, and something like DirecTV Now only has like 1 million subscribers. But that does not compare any stretch of the imaginations to the full-on DirecTV, Dish, or many of the cable TV brands. Honestly, there's no way you can really compare those numbers, because honestly, something like satellite TV, it still dwarfs these numbers. So with that one in mind, that's a huge thing to keep in mind. But they are adding stuff. Now, as far as when are they going to add more, I have no way of knowing that, but hopefully they'll add it soon. Now, big thing I want to note is things that I feel that is still missing is the Discovery channels, and also the group that owns Comedy Central. They own MTV, Nick, Comedy Central, obviously, and a few others. And it'd be nice to see them on here. But with that one in mind, you got a pretty good mix into here right now, and just a handful of others, and it'll be complete. Now, one thing I want to mention is things like PBS. They will, with the current laws, they will never be on this list. In short, I'll leave a link down below to the law that is affecting this. But in short, basically what's happening is legally this is not viewed as cable, even though satellite's technically not cable. That is viewed as cable, and obviously cable TV is viewed as cable. And basically, even if PBS wanted to add itself to these to streaming services like YouTube TV, Hulu TV, and whatever, they legally can't. So if you want that change, like me, contact your representatives, and maybe I'll take a look into this and change it. Basically, the law was made, I think, in the 60s or 70s, so it's massively outdated. And to my guess, 5, 10, maybe 15 years, it's going to be updated anyways, because the writing's on the wall, and this is the future. So with that one in mind, now, lastly, I want to mention that the channels you get, the exact channels, this highly depends on your area, but for the most part, this is what you're looking at. So looking at some of the other changes, one of the other changes I want to mention is you can actually have a custom lineup. So what I mean by this is if you say, for example, I don't like any sports channels, so I want to hide them. So what I can do is go and just hide them, or just deselect them, and they won't show up at all. So for example, with this, where I got NBC showing up, I can deselect that and give it a second or two, and it will hide itself. Now with that one in mind, I don't know for a fact, but I think it still records things from that. It just hides it from the live guide. So that's a big thing to note into itself. Now with that, you can rearrange the where something lines up. So for example, if you like local TV first, then you can do that. Or if you're a different type of person, you might want to go for the news first or something else. By the way, I think they added CNN, Fox News, Fox Business, and Headline News, and a few others. So note that they added Bravo and quite a few others. So it might be worthwhile for you to take a look at. Now, as far as this goes, I mean, it's just basically a channel guide, and they added this in, I think, within the past week or something like that. So that's something important to note, that you now have this ability where you can hide given things, and you can show whatever you want to show. So with that one in mind, that's just an important thing to note, is that you now have that. The other things with this, it's pretty much the same as before. They show you recommendations on what you might like, what you can stream from the services and stuff like that, and that way you can actually see what you want. One big thing I want to know, I also want to mention that I found out playing around with this as of late, is if you stream this to your TV, your actual TV, like where I got a Chromecast on my TV, one big thing I found out, and it's not a good thing, is if you got a data cap, this thing could easily eat up your data. See, what happens is it takes a look at your speed, and even if you have a high speed but have a data cap, basically there is no way to set the resolution down. If it sees that you can stand 4K, then, I mean, obviously 4K is not coming across, but you're going to get 1080, like myself, where if I wanted to, I could stream 4K with no problem. But where I had a data cap, that became a problem. Whereas with a phone, I think the max you can go is like 480 or something like that, and you can control the resolution on the phone itself. However, on the TV, you can't control that as of right now. So if you're looking at streaming this for your TV, but you have a data cap, this can easily eat your data like nothing. Also, another thing that I found to be a problem is with family groups on Google, you can have 6 people, including yourself, to a family group, and this is how you share the YouTube TV experience with others. but the problem is you can only stream up to 3 devices at the same time. So this can actually cause problems. Like, say for example, if you got a family of 6 and everybody is trying to watch their own thing, well, that can cause problems into itself. I honestly would really like it for them to at least allow us to buy extra streams versus because like with some of the cable plans and talking to some people, sometimes buying 2 of these of YouTube TV accounts, that will actually still be cheaper than like DirecTV and whatever. But with that one in mind, it's just more hoops that you got to jump through instead of them just, hey, let's buy more and that way we can run with it. So with that one in mind, that's all that's changed and some things I want to add into that review. Again, check out my old review onto this. It gets much more into the exacts on how recording works, how this works and that works and whatever. And feel free to ask questions either here or there or anywhere else. And that way I can answer them as quickly as possible. Anyways, leave a like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you next video. And by the way, check out the Amazon affiliate links down below. And that helps me out.